If I've said it once, I've said it twice, and I've said it a million times, and I'm gonna say it again. If you've been listening to these podcasts, you know I'm a child with disabilities. You also know I'm a very nervous person. You probably know, I don't remember if I told you, you probably know that I've self-harmed before and I've tried to commit suicide. So, any issues I talk about in this podcast in particular, I've experienced myself in one way or another, or some shape or form. So I don't want any hate, guys. And please, even if I get a little off topic, even if I get confused, if you know somebody who needs some kind of inspiration, talk to them. If you know somebody needs help, talk to them and see if you can get them some help or you can help them in some way. So recently I've been feeling down. I'm in one of my depressed modes right now because, as you probably know, I'm bipolar. And so I've been watching suicide and self-harm videos on YouTube lately. And all I can think is, I'm not that bad. I've never done something so horrendous. And I feel bad for these kids. And they're constantly trying to inspire other people with their story. And you know what pisses me off? It's not them. It's the stupid ass comments. That shit needs to stop. These kids have serious issues. Suicide, self-harm, cutting, drugs, drinking. These are serious issues. They're not something you're supposed to laugh at. What the hell's wrong with you? You think it's so funny? You go put a knife to your chest and push and push. And if you have the guts... I'm sorry, I'm kind of channeling something. I was watching a video just now where this girl titled it My Self-Harm Story. And this guy told her she was a coward because she couldn't commit suicide. I'm sorry. Who the fuck are you? For real. Suicide is no joke. I've thought about it more times than I can count. I've sat with the pills in my hand or the knife to my arm, or even thought about trying to find a place high enough to hang a noose. It's not about how brave you are. It's about, do you want to live or not? Now, I've said this in previous podcasts, but my body does not want to die. And trust me, I've tried. It does not want to die. It refuses to let me. I've held the knife or the key or anything I could find to cut myself with. I've held it to my wrist and I've slid it across my wrist. But for some reason, my hand never pressed hard enough to cut a vein. And I've tried multiple times. My dad wouldn't even let me near his razors at a point. So don't give me that shit about not being brave enough. It's because she wants to live. Deep down, she knows she wants to live. It's the cowards who give up and kill themselves. That girl had a knife in her chest. It was literally bleeding. And her grandma starts calling 911. She stops. That's a good girl. She did the right thing. Don't you dare insult her like that. Where the hell do these people come from? That's coming from somebody who's never actually tried to commit suicide and never felt so helpless and beat that they can't do anything but die. You don't know how it feels, so shut the hell up. I have millions of friends when I was in high school that I was worried would not make it to the next day. They would call me in the middle of the night. It'd be 3-something, 5 o'clock, 12. I don't care. If they call me crying, I'm the first one to start talking. If they need somebody to listen, I listen because I'm scared I'm going to lose them. To this day, there's probably 1 or 2 or 3 people I'm worried about, might kill themselves or are not alive right now. And I've known a girl that was emo who really hurt herself. She was my roommate in the hospital. And if you didn't know that, when I was in 9th grade, I was put in a mental institution for a week and a half right before my birthday. And I had 2 roommates. One who tried to kill herself with antidepressants. Don't do that. It does not work. It only makes you sick. And that pisses me off. The sleeping pills that people give you, especially when they know you're suicidal, only makes you sick. They can't kill you. Well, the ones she was taking anyway. I've never tried it with mine. I thought about it, and I've sat with the pills in my hands, but I never got that far. Because I thought, what if it just makes me sick? If my mom finds me like this, she's going to be pissed. Period. But she said her pills only made her sick. Do not attempt this, please. I'm not condoning any of it. Don't try to kill yourself. Don't try to harm yourself. If you've got problems, go tell somebody. I don't care who it is, your dog, your cat, your teacher, or your mother, or your father, or your cousins, your distant aunts. I don't care. Tell somebody. Get some help. Please don't hurt yourself. Please don't kill yourself. If you're on drugs, get off that shit. And I know I make it sound like it's easy. I know it's hard. I know people who are addicted to drugs right now. I know it's hard. But you can do it. Drugs are nothing but an escape. If you want to be strong, you do it on your own. You don't need drugs and alcohol to fix you. You can fix yourself. And if your doctor puts you on medication, take those pills. Trust me, I know a thing or two about being off the meds, and it's not fun. I am constantly off my meds. It is not fun at all. So if your doctor puts you on antidepressants and things, you take them. You don't want to be like me, trust me. My life is fucked up. I'm a nervous wreck, and I don't know what I'm going to do next in my life, but for some reason, I just got to keep going. This podcast show was literally a last resort for me. I was literally about to kill myself when I found this website. So I'm going to need y'all to stay strong, because if you don't, I can't either. Honestly, I don't know what you want me to say. It pisses me off how people can be so cruel. Like, you ever met somebody with that body disorder? You know what I'm talking about. When they see their body completely out of proportion with what they actually are. How they think they have these crazy long arms, but their arms are actually normal size. Where they think they have this massive balloon head and they have a normal size head. Where they think they're really fat, but you're looking at them and they're a size 0. You know what I'm talking about? Have you met those kind of people? Those kind of people that need, safe outfits and take pills and therapy. I haven't, but sometimes I have that problem, where I think I'm ugly, and you don't know what somebody's going through, so if somebody has that kind of issue and you call them ugly, it's not just the name for them. They literally think they look like what you're describing. Like, I've seen a drama. It was something about a girl who thought she was an iguana. I don't know. I don't remember the name. But this girl's mom had this issue really bad. Because when she looked at her younger sister, she saw a normal, pretty girl, you know. But when she saw her, all she saw was an iguana. And so when the daughter looked in the mirror, all she saw was an iguana. She didn't see what she actually looked like. She literally thought she was an iguana. So, just, you know, and then people are brave enough to tell their stories on YouTube and Facebook, and you had the audacity to insult them for it? Where's your balls at? If somebody's insulting you, walk away. And I know it sounds easy, but it's not. Don't sit there and take that shit. Walk away. And if they keep pestering you and you feel like you can't do it on your own, go get somebody. I tell my friends all the time, if they feel like they need help, they can come get me. And I would do my damnedest to help them. I protect my family and my friends to the very end, and I'm not kidding about that. People with issues of self-harm and body issues, mental issues, people with issues, period, you gotta watch what you say. Because you don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know how hard somebody's life is. That girl that has all those designer clothes and things, I bet you she gets them from the thrift store because she can't afford to buy real clothes. They're living out their car. You know, people want to bully other people. I get it if the person is a bitch. A complete and utter bitch. You know, you don't want to put up with that, and you know, they're just a bastard, and they're rude and disrespectful. I get it. But you ever wonder what makes them that way? When I was in school, nobody noticed that I was cutting. And I would wear short sleeve shirts. But I never drew attention to my arms or anything. Because I would move my arms and nobody really noticed. And so I just kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And even to this day, I struggle with it because I have to wear a key around my neck, and that's what I used to use to cut myself, was my keys. As for suicide, I've had that problem. You know, I've sat with pills in my hands. I've looked at knives. I've actually cut my hand a couple of times by accident. Or was it on purpose? I don't know. Because when I go through one of my bounces, stuff gets kind of fuzzy. So yeah, I've tried to commit suicide. And, you know, people want to say that it's over real quick. You know, it's easy to commit suicide. It's not an easy choice to make. Suicide ain't nothing but a last result. So do not take it lightly. Do not take self-harm lightly. If anybody has any kind of issue that is, you don't know how far that issue goes. If you know it's just a light issue, suggest they get some help. And if you know that they're the type of person that won't listen, you guide them along, gently guide them along. Because with my friend Lucia, she was always having issues with boys and her family. And I always told Lucia, I can't make your decisions for you. And she's like, but I need help. And so I would listen to her, and I would ask her questions that would lead her to her own conclusion. Because Lucia won't do what you want her to do. She'll only do what she wants to do. You can't make somebody do something. Sometimes you have to. But you need to assess the situation before you even attempt to do that. And now that the first half of this podcast is over, let me talk to the people with issues. If you've got something going on, you know, and it seems hopeless and you're on your last legs, please, please, dear God Almighty, talk to somebody. Call up a friend, and if that friend doesn't answer, you call up a hotline, and if you can't find an hotline, press 0 on the phone. Or whatever number you use to get the operator, and you say, I need a self-help line. And they'll probably send like a doctor or a policeman or something, but you need to talk to somebody. Because I know what it feels like to feel like you can't talk to anybody. Like nobody would understand you. I know what that feels like. Now it may not be as bad for me as it is for you, but I know some semblance of it. Now I don't want to pretend like I understand your situation because I don't. And I'm not gonna act like I do. All I can do is help you through whatever issues you got going on. If you need somebody to listen, I will listen. And I will do my damnedest not to be judgmental. If you need advice, I'm not the one to ask. But I can point you in the way in which you need to go, because the advice I give obviously never works because I always seem to hurt my friends and I don't want to. And so when it comes to advice, I ask the person, is there somebody that you can talk to besides me who has possibly had more experience with this that can help you? And if there is not, I will give you a goddamn helpline. I will not let you leave my site unless I help you some way. I'm the one person that's quicker to pay for somebody's lunch if they forget their lunch money. If I can do it, I will do it. Whatever I can for you, I will do it. So please, put the razor down, put the smokes down, put the alcohol down, whatever kind of vice you have that's not healthy and you know it. You know it's not healthy. Put it down and walk away. Put the knife down, get down from the step and take the noose off the wall. Your life is worth so much more than you give it credit. And I don't know what else to tell you. And if you don't think you're beautiful, baby, let me tell you right now, you're gorgeous. You're an amazing person. You're a wonderful person. You just have to let other people see it. There's no perfect person in this world. And nobody is worse off than another. I hate to say it, but it's true. Life is just hard. There is no harder or hardest. Because there's no limit to how hard something is. Everyone varies in strength and everybody has various levels of hard. What's not considered the hardest for you is the hardest for someone else. And so I'm here to tell you that everything does get better. You have to swim through the bullshit, the hard stuff, and the terrible stuff, and the times that you feel like you just can't go on. You have to get through that. You have to. Because things do get better. And I know sometimes I don't believe that myself. But when I do, I believe it hard. Things do get better. Sometimes I wake up and I ask myself, what the hell am I doing here? Why am I still alive? And I look over at my desk and I see the 15 bottles of medication I have, and all I want to do is pour it all down the sink. But I don't. Because that's a waste of my mother's money and my time. And if I continue, I'm just going to destroy myself. But I know those pills can help me. If only I could get on the right track. You know, life, basically life is full of shit. It's full of different ways to go. And a lot of the time you're on the wrong road. But all you have to do is get off that road and start walking on a dirt road. Make your own path, because eventually you're going to find that path that's just right for you. So if you're going through some shit and life is hard for you right now, I want you to listen to the sound of my voice, and I want you to understand me when I say shit gets better. No matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, you have to keep that in mind. Suicide in teenagers is at an all-time high. Adults are suiciding. Little children are suiciding. Self-harm issues I can't even name right now are at an all-time high. So please, put it down and walk away. Things get better. And I'm going to say this as many times as I can, because this podcast is almost over. Things get better. Many things have inadvertently saved my life in the last 2 years. Because the suicide attempts and the self-harm, it's gotten worse. And in the bipolar, it's gotten a lot worse, and I'm dealing with it. And I'm continuing to deal with it. I go to therapy as much as possible, and I talk about my problems. And I figure out ways to handle it. So yes, things are shitty right now for me. My life is so fucked up right now. But I have to keep in mind that shit gets better. And though it's hard, trust me, it's hard. It is so hard. I hate to think that I turn on the news and find out that someone is dead. The world is going crazy. So instead of separating and distancing ourselves from people, we need to come closer together. So I need you to hold on, because you're my support. You're the reason I'm here right now. You're the reason I can talk about this right now. I need you to hold on, and I'm going to hold on to you, and we're going to hold each other up, okay? So if life is hard for you right now, things get better. And if your life is going great, take the time to reach out to somebody and help somebody. If you see somebody on the street and you can do something about them, if you know something's wrong and you can do something, do it. Don't just walk away. Because you don't know what that person's going through. You don't know what kind of issues they have right now. I know people look at me and they think my life is just so great, but I feel like my life is shit right now. And so I had to keep holding on to the fact that things get better. Now, I want you to take this podcast, and if you know somebody going through a hard time, not necessarily listen to the first 15 minutes. Quite possibly, just listen to the last 15. And I want them to know that they're my support and that things get better. And if people just hold on to that, if you have even the slightest glimmer of light in your heart, hold on to it and don't let it go. Don't put someone or something as your light, because eventually you might lose it. It has to be something inside of you. And if you're empty, keep digging until you find something, because nothing is ever truly empty. Because if that was true, there would be people that would commit suicide every day, more and more than it is right now. Because I know plenty of people who have stepped back from the blade because their bodies did not want to give up, because they're not completely empty yet. So you hold on to that little piece inside of you and don't let it go. Choke the life out of it. Don't let it go. Because you're going to need it. And I need you. There are 100 followers right now. Guys, share this. Share it. Download it. Let your friends listen to it. Please. Please. That's all I'm asking for you. Is that you save a life today. And watch yourself. You don't know how you're affecting people. Even the smallest things that make people happy could save their life. Try to keep that in mind. This is Charlene signing out. Good night, y'all.